I have two distinguished personalities in the studio. I have Clement Akapame and Lom Ahlijah, two young men who have done something very noble. They've put together a book, a source book on commercial law. That's just totally amazing. Clement, we know him from Citi FM. He is a former news reporter. I think he's a news reporter of sorts still. And I'm not forgiving him for urging his wife to give me an injection at the hospital the other day. That should tell you that his wife is a doctor, isn't she? She gave me an injection. When I appeared at the hospital, because she knew me, I didn't know her. She called her husband and said, look, your friend is in my hospital. He's not well. He's afraid of injection. Clement said, give it to him. And that's how I got well. Good evening, Clement.
Good evening, Paul. Good to see you.
So much congratulations to you. So much.
Thank you.
That's awesome. But what happened after your journey with Citi FM? Why did you leave the media?
I've not left, actually.
Oh, you haven't left?
Great. I'm doing some work with Citi on a question of law.
Yes.
I join them every Thursday, so I'm still...
Okay. But you don't report from Parliament, the news and all that? You don't do that?
No, that's in the past.
Those of you who like the early morning news, I have to tell you that Clement is the one who gave credibility to the 6 o'clock news. Back in the day, he opted as a law student in Makola to come and take time and do the 6 o'clock news like a proper bulletin. Citi FM pioneered that major 6 o'clock bulletin in the morning for 30 minutes. Clement will wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He'll be at Citi FM. He'll fix the news. And at 6:30 when he's done, he'll go to Makola and take his lectures. From there, he ended up at Michigan Law School. And now he's a lecturer at GIMPA. Mr. Lom, we don't remember with the media, but you have a handsome face. So tell us about your journey. So you practice law ordinarily?
Yes, I practice law and I also teach at GIMPA.
You teach at GIMPA, yes, it's in the book. So Clement, what was the idea of this source book in commercial law?
So Paul, we've been teaching at GIMPA, the Faculty of Law, for a decade now. And since we started, we've been teaching commercial law, we realized that there's a need for a Ghanaian material. When we started teaching and how we were taught from the then University of Ghana Faculty of Law, we're using a lot of English and international cases to teach commercial law. So we started a crusade to assemble Ghanaian literature. So we will go to the commercial courts, look for cases that are explaining commercial principles from a Ghanaian perspective. And that is what spurred on this project. And I must say that doing this project has shown us that our commercial courts are doing a lot of work when it comes to commercial law, because from this book you can see that almost every principle we have in commercial law, we've had our commercial courts address it in one way or the other. So we don't have to be going back to the English cases of Ireland and Livingston. We have our own cases of Ban and Salah addressing issues.
Which gives the same principles?
Same principles. Espouses the same principle on agency and how you can use custom to determine the scope of the agent's authority. And the Ghanaian courts are doing all these. So we took it upon ourselves to put this together to help in the teaching of the law and also to make the practice of commercial law appealing to practitioners. So it's a source book, the name source book. The reason is that we speak through the judges. So we take the principles and we analyze the principles through the reasoning of the judges in the cases in there. So this was our 10th anniversary contribution to teaching commercial law.
Oh, this is the 10 years?
10 years.
Okay. So tell us, Lom, when we say commercial law, what does it mean? I mean, people who have a basic acquaintance with the law understand contract law. Okay. What is commercial law? Commercial is for layman's something that you pay for, is high priced, something like that. What's commercial law?
Well, maybe that could be part of it, but commercial law is broader than that. And in fact, one of the things that we engage our students extensively on is what is commercial law?
Scope.
The scope, because when you read different authors, you find that there are so many things that could be included in the scope, and some also leave them out of the scope. So for example, in Ghana, most law faculties will teach agency law. They will teach, for example, sale of goods law, teach hire purchase law. But, for example, will not teach insurance law. Whereas in some countries, insurance law is treated as part of commercial law. Things like, for example, banking. You can study banking law as a whole year's course. It's a very exhaustive area of law. But we, for example, teach banking as part of commercial law because there are elements in there that relate to the commercial practice. So if you ask the question, what is commercial law? The simple answer I'll give you is that it pertains to a wide variety of things that relate to trade, business, and commerce. And as you know, commerce now has evolved so much that, for example, we are in the era of e-commerce where things have moved from actually going to a shop to pick items on the shelf and buy. You actually go online, you click a few buttons, and items are selected, put in a basket, and delivered to you at your home.
You don't have to say e-commerce, just say electronic commerce. Because when you say e, then we're taking our mind somewhere. You are lawyers, you're not politicians. So,
No,
so
exactly.
electronic commerce.
So, yes, electronic commerce. So commercial law covers a wide range of things, including the things I've mentioned and many more. Okay, so for purpose of our book, we've dealt with the substantive areas that are covered generally across most law faculties in Ghana. So in our book, we are looking at agency law, the law of agency. We've discussed the contracts for the sale of goods. We've discussed hire purchase law, bills of exchange, negotiable instruments. We've looked at banking law in general, and also more specifically, we've looked at payment systems and services. Of course, beyond these, we've also touched on some procedural areas. So commercial arbitration, we've also looked at commercial litigation, but not very exhaustively. The plan is to further develop that aspect of the book in future editions. But as I said, the core text, the core areas that you find across the law schools in Ghana, we've covered in our book, even though arguably there are other things that you could add or take out. Yes.
Okay, so let me go to the content and then have a look at okay, so the dedication, I read it. So I read the dedication. Maybe they don't like that, but I read it. We dedicate this book to our wives. Yay. Edith Yaba Swansea, Doctor, and Kweki Kweno Ahlijah Esquire. Is she a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. For support and encouragement in coming out with this publication. Okay. So Lom Nuku gave the testimony about his wife's support, and you gave the testimony about your wife's support. What I'm saying is that you can't vouch for his wife, so neither can he vouch for your wife's support. But we'll take your testimony. So that's why this dedication is there. Don't worry, I'm always controversial.
Clement is my senior, I take his word.
Okay. So once he said that, okay. That's interesting. And they are also grateful to a name that just immediately caught my attention, Samuel Kofi Dateba, who has also shown interest in the growth of young legal academics. His review and acceptance to write the foreword of this book is a testament to his continuous desire in growing the next generation of legal academics in Ghana. That's very exciting.
Before we cannot say, we don't know how to thank Justice Dateba.
Yeah.
I mean, the interest he took in this project. And the question you asked Lom, what is commercial law? When we approached him to write the foreword, the first thing he asked us, what is commercial law? So he actually turned into a lecture where he told us how they, even at the law faculty, then developed the syllabus of what will be the scope of commercial law in Ghana. And when we did the book, he came back with his review, the foreword, and he indicated that we need to add a chapter on commercial arbitration. So you can see that the scope keeps expanding. So Justice Kofi Dateba, we thank him very much for his
You mentioned
support.
other names. Professor Ernest Kofi Abochi, who is now the dean at the UPSA school. He used to be at GIMPA, wasn't he?
Yes, he was our dean.
Yes, and Justice Dennis Ajay.
Yes, also a former dean.
Yeah, and then I come back to the some of the other names. Some of them are more favorites to me than others. I can see counsel to Speaker Adom-Otchere, Phoebe Washington Norte, Anne-Marie Palmer Buckle, Osepoku Jr., Albert Japon, Kofi Somoa Ekuamoa, Odako Lamte, Mordecai Nyamiche, Edmond Akron, Deborah Okwandodu, and Abna Inkum, all the members of the Taylor Crabb Barristers and Solicitors, and Integri Solicitors and Advocates, who provided us with professional guidance. Okay, so that's a list of the partners to your firm?
No, the research team.
Oh, the research team. Okay, yeah, you say so quite clearly. All right, interesting. So the table of contents, formation of agency, obligations of the agent, relations between principal and agent. Okay, so you are writing this both for students and for barristers, right?
Absolutely. That's the idea.
And for judges, isn't it?
That's the idea.
So there's easy reference to some of the commercial law cases.
Easy reference with footnotes and quotations from judges.
This is a very good work. You guys have done amazing. You should be writing other books. Oh, and I can see that you did. You worked hard to find some of the English cases too, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
So if there's a principle that has not been touched on by our courts, we use the English cases in there. So 95% of the cases you see in there will be Ghanaian cases. Yeah.
So
Wow.
Paul, that's what we try to do. Let's domesticate it. Let's localize it. Let's go to our judges and let's see what they have said.
And I'm sure by that you're giving our students and barristers a lot of confidence that you always don't need to go to Justice Diplock. Is he still alive?
I don't. Even some of the places they'll mention in the cases,
Yeah.
you can't relate.
Yes. Marble Arch.
Yes, but if you say Zongo
Adabraka.
Junction,
Yes.
Adabraka, it's
Yeah.
more relatable to the
Yeah.
students.
That
And
he hired an Uber from Medina to North Legon.
Yes.
You don't want to see that he hired an Uber from Marble Arch to Maidaville.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yesterday, I got an email from a
Yeah.
student, a case Birch and Asempa, and this is after he had written his exam. He's saying that, sir, I need extra marks because in that case, Birch and Asempa, my grandfather was the plaintiff, and the letter writer in that case was also related to me.
I see.
Because of the country,
he cited the case in the exam.
Yeah, he could identify with the case.
Yes, absolutely.
So he was like, because of what my forebears have done, please give me extra marks.
Students always want
they are
extra
able to-
marks.
But I think he
identify.
deserves it. Maybe one more. Not He definitely deserves it. Where can we get this book to buy?
So we are going to retail at all the major bookshops. Legon Bookshop, we are looking at Challenge, and Book Nook. It will be on Book Nook. Nanare and his team are putting on Book Nook. And also there are contact numbers that if you want copies for various law libraries, you can contact us and then we'll make the books available to you.
Well, at the site of being contradictory, you see, when Professor Komado launched his book, I was telling Kweku, my legal researcher, that but Prof, you could have done a nicer back and nicer text, which is what you guys have done. Kweku, you see what the point I was making? It's a very beautiful book. Professor Komado's book, the text, and anyway. Okay. No, you don't have to say anything about that.
No, we're not.
Lomnuku is just laughing. Okay, how much are you? Do you know how much you're selling a year? Because I know the launch was today.
The launch was today. We still need to look at the
market.
launch event, and then we will determine a going price. But we've had pre-orders already going for about 500.
So it couldn't be more than 500 CDs?
It cannot be more than 500.
Okay, so maximum with 500. Good luck. So 500, let me do the typical Ghana people's calculation. 500, if you sell 10,000, Charlie, guys are rich.
No, GRA will come in. We are making sure. But
if you guys put in the work to do this, you should be rich. I don't find any problem with that.
Well,
but sometimes people have difficulties with that.
So actually, the motive is not to be rich.
Yeah,
the
I
motive
understand.
is to contribute to.
Yes, but in contribution, we should
legal-
pay you. We should reward you. Because if we have had people writing this from the 1960s, we would have had so much. So much.
So I agree with you on that.
You should be rich. You sell 20,000 copies. Look, how many copies do you like? 100,000?
100,000 is fine for me.
How many law students do we have all over the country? LLB.
I don't have the
But
statistics
about
ready.
5,000, something like that.
Yes. So if you have like 3,000 writing the entrance exam every year.
Yeah. So you have.
there's a model.
So that's the entrance exam people are final years,
Yes.
like after level 400.
After level.
Yeah. So
400
if you
or
go back,
300.
so you give every stream 400, 300, 200, 3,000. Charlie, you're in business. Plus barristers, judges.
Paul is my man. I think.
Marketing.
Yes, seriously. Yes.
You'll be able to do it. You'll be able to do it. I see the football game is over. So let me know what your last word is. What would you like to say?
Paul, I would like to say a big thank you to GIMPA actually for giving us a home where we've lectured commercial law and able to put this material together. And one thing we would like to say to students in particular that if lecturers put in hard work, they shouldn't resort to photocopying, and that they should reward the effort, and that's why we are lacking.
Oh, they'll be photocopying the document.
Yes.
I see.
That will be my last words, but yeah. Thank you to everyone who has supported us.
My wife says she needs one.
Please.
My wife says she's very proud of Clement. I remember him from your Citi FM days. Yeah, I also remember.
I remember Rosemary.
I also remember you. Okay, she wants a copy. I'll buy a copy for her. All right. Thank you so much. I'll let you autograph it after the show. Okay, Egypt won the game on penalties. Okay, so we're going live to Cameroon once again before we come to do the rest of the politics on Good Evening Ghana. Congratulations to Clement and Akapame and Ahlijah. Okay, you don't use your first names, you do use your surnames. Okay. Yeah, so Egypt won the game, by the way.
I'm happy. You don't
want the host to win?
No, I'm for an Egypt-Senegal final.
Final. Which is
Salah,
a rehearsal.
yeah,
Salah versus Sane.
Yeah.
It's a rehearsal of their World Cup
Yeah.
group anyway. Oh, he doesn't know much about football, does he?
No.
Oh, he
Oh,
does.
yeah, if I win, they win. Yes.
Okay. So you are
I
for
wanted
Cameroon.
Cameroon to win, yes.
Okay. All right. So it looks like Egypt won.
Yes.